Hi, my One in a Million family. I decided to do another mukbang for y'all, a cooking show, I should say. But let me get my hands going. I've been craving pho, and you know how I love pho. And pho can be a really process. So I decided that I'm gonna try to do the pho in my husband's favorite cooking utensil, which is the pressure cooker. So we're gonna see how I can do it. I think if you do it in the pressure cooker, you can do it in probably an hour or an hour and a half instead of 8 hours that I used to do before. So let's try it. So I have my favorite thing to do for pho, which is my oxtail. And they're so expensive. Have you ever done that? I think so many people are starting to do this now because, it's winter. It's starting to come, and you always get getting the broth, making it stuff. So I'm gonna clean it out real quick. So I'm gonna turn the water on cold, get all that impurities out a little bit, just to rinse it. And these are so good once you cook it and boil it. I can just boil it and eat it with a little bit of fish sauce and lime juice and dip it in there, just like that. And to me, that's a snack because I love it. So anyway, let me clean this out, get all that yuckiness out of there. I don't know what the yuckies are, but they are in there. But I got a lot. I don't know how many. Let me see how many pounds did I get. I got 5. It looks like 3 pounds of oxtail. So I decided just to use oxtail because I do like the flavor of the oxtail. Okay. So. All right, and we're just going to boil the oxtail just to get all the impurities out. I think I'm gonna boil it for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're gonna clean it out, and then we're gonna put everything in our pressure cooker and see what we can do. Okay? All right, so I want y'all to follow me to the stove here. And I know you're wondering, how am I going to do this? But you guys know me. I can do anything, right? I'm going to put this on my lap so the water is not on me. There we go. All right, so follow me to the stove. It is on the pot, so let's turn it up on high. I didn't put anything in it yet. No salt, no seasonings into my oxtail because I am just going to boil it for like 10 to 15 minutes to get all of that impurity out. Then I'm going to dump it in the sink again, rinse it all out, and then I'm going to put the boiled oxtail back in, not back in, but I'm going to put it in my pressure cooker, and then we're going to go from there, okay? So I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, I think it is, and I want you to look at my pot here. See all that impurity? That's what we were boiling out. So I'm going to take it out, and it's not fully cooked, so you can't eat it right now. But I'm going to take all of this out. You know what? I'm going to use my big old strainer that helps me better because I can't see what I'm taking out. But here we go. There we go. Look at all of that. And I'm going to take this to the sink and I'm going to clean the bones. Get rid of all that impurity. So now I'm finished with this pot. I'm going to dump all of this out. I'm going to clean the pot and we're done with that. Okay? But right now I'm going to take it all out. And okay, so that's it. So I just want you to see. This is what I was trying to boil out. And I boiled them out. This is not the good thing, and I'm fixing to take this to the sink and clean it up. Alright, here we go. Go into the sink now. Okay, so I moved the bones into the sink. I'm going to put cold water in it. And what I'm doing is I am just going to clean out all of that extra stuff in there. So I'm rubbing it with my hands, just cleaning it out. And I got my pressure cooker over here ready. Oh my goodness, y'all don't know how I love oxtail pho. I just love it. It's so good, so flavorful. This to me is heaven. It's snack food. So here we go. I'm just cleaning it, using cold water, getting it all out. Because I want my broth. Pho Another thing about pho is your broth needs to be clear and it needs to be good. Didn't have any of that. Just need to be clear. That's all it is. And this is what makes it good here. So I'm cleaning it. And you're wondering, I didn't use any other bones. I just thought I'm just going to do oxtail this time. And I think that gives it the best flavor. It's quite expensive. This was, I think, almost $7 a pound. So for 3 pounds, I think I paid almost $20 for this. Okay, so we got that there, and I'm gonna fill the water up, probably almost to the top, maybe less than a quarter from the top. So let me fill the water up here. Get it going. And then I'm going to take it to the stove. Still got a little impurities coming out, but not much. I still see it in there. But okay, I'm going to stop it right there, and I'm going to take it to the to the stove. Okay. I am now going to... Actually, I went and roasted it without letting y'all see it, so it's a little bit roasted, but I want you to see what I did, okay? For the flavor of the pho, what makes the pho is the cinnamon, cloves, aniseed, ginger, and onion. But to give it extra flavor, you roast it. See, as you can see, I've already roasted it, but this is what I did. I put it in this burner, the stovetop burner right here, and all I did was I did that and just to char it, okay? Just to char it like that. And that's what gave it that little black, I guess you'd say, charring it. But this is what brings it out. Once you cook it like this, it brings out that flavor. As you can see, did you see all that? Did you see that little flame coming up? That's what I'm doing right here. So I already did it, so I just wanted you to see what I did because I forgot to videotape it. Okay? Okay, so it's not that hot. And I did the same thing with the onions. I put it on there just to char it. And as you can see, it's starting to char. Let me move it up a little bit more. There we go. Just a little bit higher. See that? And then we're gonna flip it. See, I did a little bit right there. And this just brings out the flavor of it. You know how you char things or you roast things on the grill? That's exactly what I'm doing. And that's gonna bring it out. Because right now that all brings out that good flavor. Okay? So that's what I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over here. Right here. Perfect. Look at that. All right, so I'm gonna turn that off because I'm not gonna use this part anymore. Okay, so I am done with that. So I'm going to use my tongs because that thing is very hot. I'm gonna put it in the sink. And I'm coming right back. Okay. So now I am done with that. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to me. And I'm going to put this on. A little bit here, right there. Not too high. I'm going to put a little seeds in there. And I'm just going to roast it. It will not take me long at all. This is the cinnamon that I got from the Asian store. And it lasts. I love it. Okay. And these are the cloves. Just, I don't know, a handful, I guess. Just like that. A little bit more in there. And then the seeds right here. And when I start to smell it, I know that it's good. I know you can't smell it. Okay, but let me turn it up. There we go. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just roasting it. And once if I can start smelling it, then we're good. Okay? And this part right here that I'm doing is very optional. Very optional. You do not have to do this part. You can just throw all of this in the pot, you know. But I thought, you know, let's give it more flavor. Plus, I am not cooking the bones for 8 hours. I'm only doing it for an hour and a half, doing the broth. So I thought maybe this part of it, doing it, would enhance the broth more. No, I don't smell it yet, but once I start smelling the seeds, I probably know it's good to go, okay? So we're gonna do that here. Starting there, still don't. But this is what makes pho, if that makes sense. If you don't have this, it's not gonna do it. But I always have this in handy. Actually, in the Vietnamese menu, a lot of the broth is mainly this, you know, and then they add other things to make it flavor. But this is really a good flavor. Ooh, I can smell it. I'm starting to smell it, and it's starting to pop. And I see a lot of people also use coriander seed, but my family doesn't use that. This is the 3 seasonings that we use. So I don't want to put it in there because I really don't know what flavor it gives. Okay, I smell it now. So I'm going to turn it off because I don't want a burnt flavor in my broth. Okay, so we're going to go to the stove now, and I'm going to put all of this in the broth, in the pot. Okay? Alrighty. I'm going to put this in first.
2, 3.
Okay, so I am at the stove now, and remember the ox bones that I have? It's already in there, and I just put all that. Oh, you should smell it. It smells really good. So I'm going to put everything that we did, roasted, back in the pot here, so we can get our broth going. You know, back in the days where there was no Instapot and no pressure cooker, my mom, a lot of your parents as well, cook things for hours and hours and hours, you know. Like this would be eight hours tops to make your pho. But because of Instapot and pressure cooker, we can do it in a fast time. So this is what I'm going to try to do, see if we can make it in an hour and a half. I don't have an Instapot. I've never owned one. I've seen people have it. It is a new version. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I had to cut that a little bit. My dog were barking because I guess somebody was taking a walk. Anyways, back to my pressure cooker. Back in the days, like I said, people would do it in a pot, 8 hours. But now that we have Instapot and pressure cooker, all that stuff, we can do it in less time. This is something that my husband had, and it's a Presto pressure cooker. I always am afraid to use it, but he's here with me, he's recording, so that's why I'm doing it. I wouldn't do it by myself. Anyways, we got all of our ingredients in there. I got the bones in there. We cleaned out the bone, got all that impurity out. We roasted the aniseed. We roasted the ginger, the onions, the cloves, and the cinnamon. Okay? And so now to add a little bit more flavor to it, I am going to add about 1.5, maybe 2, maybe another one. Okay, so that's about 2 tablespoons of sugar, okay? And I am going to put it in. This is the part, I hope it goes perfectly because, you know, I am not a pro at this. So I'm hoping that I can do it. Oh, yes, okay. So there was a arrow pointing to an arrow here, and it's supposed to match. And it matched because it closed, right? And then there's a jiggler. So you got to put the jiggler in there. And we're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on high and let it do its thing. And then when it starts jiggling, then I would turn it on low. And then we just let it go for over an hour and a half. And hopefully by that time, instead of 8 hours, an hour and a half, we're going to come out with the best smelling pho broth and taste ever. So I am so glad that I am doing this with you. I have been watching YouTube and I see people do it on Instapot, and I don't have an Instapot, so I thought we would just do this because I think a pressure cooker is an Instapot is the newer version of a pressure cooker, I think, in my opinion. So anyways, we'll let that, and we will be back when it starts jiggling. When it starts jiggling, I'll come back and let you see what I'm going to do. Turn it down, and then it'll just jiggle a little bit, and then we'll let it cook for an hour, okay? That's all I'm going to do. Okay, so because we had a lot of water in there for the broth, it took at least 20 minutes. So it's been about 20 minutes now. If you can hear it, it's starting to jiggle. You hear that? And that thing is jiggling. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it low. Oh, I smell it. Oh my goodness, that broth smells like pho. My house is going to smell like pho, yes. Anyway, so now we're going to let it, I turned it down. And we're going to let it jiggle for an hour or an hour and a half, okay? Well, an hour would probably be the best, but we'll see. So there you go. I'm excited because it's going perfectly, and I wish you could smell it because it smells like pho broth. Hey. See you in an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and let it cool for a minute, okay? Now I turn it off, and we're going to let it cool. Okay, so we waited a while, and there's no steam coming, so I think it's safe for me to open the lid. So let's see it. And this is the thing, okay? Let's look at it. Ooh, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Okay, so before I taste it and everything, I'm going to strain everything out. At this time, you can like go take it to the sink, put another pot underneath it, and pour all of that out with a strainer. But because it's hard for me, I'm gonna just do it right here with my own strainer right here. Okay. Woo! Look at that. Okay. I'm going to try to get all of that out. Oh, wow. Can you see that? It's like falling off the bone. That is exactly what you want. And I don't know if you can see it, but my broth looks clear. I love it. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Let's see if I can get that. Here we go. Ooh-wee. Look at that. Look at all of that. Okay, I'm going to take that out too, because that way it doesn't burn it. Ooh. Let me see here. Let me, hold on. You can't do that. You're going to come with your chopstick. Ta-da! Chopsticks come in handy, guys. Okay. Okay, here's my broth. And it smells like pho. Gonna drain all of that out. See that? I'm gonna try to get all of the seeds that I put in there out. To me, it smells delicious. And I'm going to taste it in a little bit before I put any of the noodles in there. Before I pour it on my noodles, I want to taste it. Make sure it's got enough saltiness, all that. See that? That's all the seeds that we put in there. That's what makes the pho. Okay? And I do not want to chew in that, so I want to get it all out. clean that out too in a minute. Okay, I think I'm getting there. It's gonna take a while. It's faster if you pour it out and strain it, but because it's hard for me to do that, I'm going to strain it this way. So it takes a little time. I don't know about you guys, but it looks delicious. And it smells too. It smells just like pho. And when you do this part too, it also gets the fat out. So that helps. So I'm trying to get all of the seeds and everything out so you don't taste it, because you don't want to have that in there. You don't want to eat that. You don't want to bite into that. I didn't have like a cheesecloth or the bag of cheese that I could put in there, so I wouldn't have to deal with this part, but it's okay. You do what you got, right? Just an extra step. And we have some time, since we, you know, cut 8 hours out of our cooking time, right? So, and I'll clean that bones out too. Okay, I think I got a lot of it out. So I'm gonna put this right here. And I've got tons of spoons over here because I don't want y'all to think that I'm double dipping. So I'm gonna taste it just to see what I need. Ooh. I don't think it needs anything. I think it's perfect, just the way it is. I think it is. I think we're gonna go for, it's perfect. I don't think it needs more salt. So let me clean this up and we'll make our bowl, okay? Really quick. Shouldn't take long at all. Okay, we did it. And I don't know if you saw, but I strained the pot, the broth into another pot over there. And I saw that you saw that I boiled the noodles and I put it in a bowl. And here it is. I didn't add any other meat because it's just me by myself. And I just thought that the ox bone meat would be perfect for it. So here it is right here. And I also put some hoisin sauce and some sriracha to dip in. I decided I'm not going to mix it into my broth because when I do that, it gives it a different flavor. So I just want my pho broth. And of course, I have all my condiments there. So let's enjoy. I just cannot believe that I did this in less than 2 hours, or about 2 hours, maybe over 2 hours, but compared to 8, right? And that's from the beginning to the end, that's all it cost me. So I'm gonna put all my condiments in there. I have cilantro and lettuce. I didn't have any of the basils, all the other stuff. So like I said, it's just me and it's okay. And of course, I gotta have my lime juice in there. I do like my lime in there. Get that in there. And I want you to see how the ox bones fall off the meat. Okay, let's see here. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it just falls off. So I'm gonna dip it in here a little bit with that. I'm gonna taste it and see. That is really good. The flavor is good. So now, let's try our broth. Oh yes, it tastes like pho. You know, it's very close. It's not 100% like the real thing because you know, letting bone take 6 hours. 8 hours. Of course, it's going to give it good flavor. But doing it in the pressure cooker, I think it's just as good. If you just want it right away. And I did this all in about 2 hours. So let's try it. First bite. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. It is so good. When you're craving pho like me, and don't want to spend 8 hours, this is it on a Saturday for me. This is perfect. Oh my goodness, that's perfect. I love it. And let's try our bones. Dip it in our hoisin sauce and our dipping. Did you see that, how it just fell off the bone? I told you, this is like a snack to me. That is so good. So I'm going to take some of the bones and I'm going to put it in here. Add it to my broth because it's delicious. So flavorful. Look at that. I just can't believe how it just falls off. Look at that. I love it. Oh my goodness. There's the ginger. I just put it in there for the ambiance, make the plate look prettier, but you don't eat it. I mean, you could if you want to, but I can't. Okay, so now you can't let this go to waste. You gotta, you gotta get every bit of that. And the bone marrow in it. Oh, there it is. That's the best part. Oh my goodness. I love it. My dog couldn't even eat after this one. Okay, gotta wipe my hand here. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And if I can do it, y'all can do it. And if you have an Instapot, I bet you it's way easier than doing it on a pressure cooker. Delicious. And it tastes just like pho. That's the flavor and everything. And there's my meat. I'm gonna dip in the hoisin sauce. Oh my goodness. It is delicious. So tell me what y'all are doing on a Saturday. I hope after you watch this that you go out and try to make this, because it only takes 2 hours. So you can have this done by dinner time. And it is very good. The only thing that I would ask y'all to do is add a little bit more of the seasoning, the cloves and the aniseed. The cinnamon is perfect, I think. But just add a little bit more of that in there. Because I would like to have a little bit more of that flavor. But other than that, it got my pho fix for the day. And when you do it in a pressure cooker like that instead of the pot, you don't make that much, but it's perfect. That I think could make for 4, but for me, it'll be perfect. I can make 2 meals out of that because I love the broth. But if you just want to do it for your family, a little family that you have, that's perfect. That is delicious. And I like that I'm dipping it because now the hoisin sauce doesn't change the flavor of my broth. And I like that. I saw that somebody did that one time. And I was like, that's a good idea because once you put the hoisin and all of that stuff in here, it changes the flavor of your broth. Your broth has that flavor in it. But now that I'm dipping, my broth still has that pho flavor. And it doesn't change the broth at all. I like it just the way it is. That is really good. Can you tell? And the bone. Look at this. Just falls off. I love it. And the hoisin sauce and the sriracha in it. See, can you see that? Put some lettuce. Yeah. That is perfect. That is perfect. And I hope that y'all are going to be having a good Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and finish my bowl of pho. And I might have another one. It is so good. I haven't had pho in a long time. So I was craving it. And, you know, why not do it in a pressure cooker? It is just me. And it's perfect. I could have used a little bit less of the bones because that's a lot. That'd be like, it's going to take me a long to eat all of that. But I could freeze it if I want to. But anyways, it's very good. And I hope you try this. It's so simple. It's so easy. And comment below if you have any questions. Comment below and tell me what you thought of my video, thought of my channel. Please do the like on it. Subscribe to me. Excuse me. See, it's so good. Subscribe, like it, do all that stuff for me, okay? And I promise to do more of this. I'm going to get back in my groove again. I really enjoy doing it. And I hope you have a one in a million day.